What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And today we are just going to talk about a little bit of news. We're going to talk about the charts a little bit and why Bitcoin is going sideways right now. Is this like the end? Did we hit 42,000 and now we're going all the way back down to $3,000? The market crashed. We're done. Bye bye, Bitcoin. Absolutely not. I would not say that. But look at Ethereum. Man, Ethereum's at 2,500. Do you guys remember when I was telling you to buy Ethereum at $1,700? Not even that long ago, in a video popping up right here. Yeah, remember that? That would have been a good time to buy Ethereum, right? You would have been about $800 up, which is about a third of the price right now. So, I mean, you would have made a nice little chunk, you know? So you would have made a third of an Ethereum. So yeah, we have a little bit of news like this story right up here. Bitcoin mining gets 6% more difficult in first positive adjustment since May. Now, if you guys don't understand what that means, basically there's a hash rate for mining. And what that is it makes it either more difficult or less difficult to mine Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin first started back in 2009, you could mine Bitcoin with your computer, your laptop. It wouldn't do very good back then, but if you hooked your computer up with another computer, you could do it if you had a good computer. But if you had kind of a janky computer, you'd have to hook it up with like a couple of your buddies. So a couple of you and your buddies get together and you could have mined Bitcoin. The hash rate was that low. Now, if you got even 100 computers together of just laptops, it would be hard to mine Bitcoin, even with 100 people. Now, if you look at this picture right there, that's kind of what these miners look like, right? They're just kind of like a modem, like a little tiny modem right there. And then it just plugs into a bigger server. And those are just miners. They're Bitcoin miners. And then you plug it into your phone right there, and you're able to mine Bitcoin. But as time goes by and more Bitcoin is mined and more people mine Bitcoin, it gets harder to mine. And so you have this thing, which is the difficulty rate. Like on a video game, you have easy, medium, and hard. Well, think of it as kind of like that. You have an easy, medium, and hard setting. So the less people is on easy. Back when Bitcoin first started, there wasn't that many people, so it was on easy mode. And then over time, it went to medium, and now we're in like super hard mode, right? And then when that was like at the 60,000 all-time high, we were in super hard, like the hardest mode, right? And it's really hard to mine Bitcoin, and everybody's fighting over it. And then China cracked down on miners, right? And so the price of Bitcoin dropped from 60 down to 30,000, right? So the hash rate went way down. And it was starting to be a lot easier to mine Bitcoin now because, well, for one, all of the companies in China basically got shut down with the crackdown. And so that adjusts the system, which makes it easier to mine Bitcoin. Well, the easier it gets to mine Bitcoin, the more chances there are for a 51% attack. And what a 51% attack is basically miners get together, or one mining pool gets together and takes 51% of the hash rate, which means they are mining 51% of the Bitcoin. They are taking 51% of the network's hash rate, and they are basically doing 51% of the transactions. So they basically have control over the network. Well, now they can multiply transactions. They could do 2 Bitcoin transactions, like 10,000 Bitcoin transaction. They could do it twice. And then boom, they created an extra thing that shouldn't be there. They get away with 10,000 Bitcoin, and you just got a 51% attack. That's why the difficulty has gotten extremely hard. That's the way Satoshi had created Bitcoin, to keep one person or one mining pool from being able to replicate Bitcoin and basically double spending. If a double spend happens, that could ruin the network. But when you create an extra Bitcoin with a 51% attack, that isn't a double spend. So that doesn't ruin the network like it would if it was an actual double spend. But it's really bad. So what I'm trying to say is Bitcoin hash rate and mining gets really hard, right? And now, in the last couple of months, it's got a lot easier. So we've been like, dang, that's why the price is down, the hash rate's low. All of these things correlate with a bear market, right? Well, we were in a tiny bear market and a giant bull cycle. That's what I keep saying. And so this proves that the bull market is not over. This is another indicator that says we are going to continue this bull rally, that even the miners, even though getting kicked out of China, we still got a 6% rise in the difficulty and hash rate since May, right? And the first positive adjustment since May. So, I mean, this is good. This is good news if you look at it in the way that I just told you. Um, so yeah, that's a positive thing, and we'll see when more miners get set up from the crackdown in China, wherever they're going, whether it be here in America, South America, Africa, wherever they're going from China, right? The Philippines, maybe Indonesia, Singapore, maybe Switzerland. You never know where they're going to go, but these are all crypto-friendly countries that would, house these kind of people. And because it's not illegal to mine Bitcoin, if you're not living in China, so it's not an illegal thing depending on what country you live in. So that's the only thing. If it's illegal in your country, you're probably going to have to move. So, and here, this goes a lot with what we were talking about. China vows to continue cracking down on crypto hype. So the People's Bank of China said in a statement Saturday that the central bank will maintain high pressure on virtual currency trading hype. So these policymakers, they do not want anything to succeed in their country except the Chinese digital money. And that's why they're doing that. They don't want any crypto in their country, Bitcoin or whatever, because as you know, China is a communist country. And so the government wants to control the people. And that's why I don't think communist countries can work, because of stuff like this. They are basically one of the forerunners in technology, China, right? Because they have some amazingly smart people in China. I'm not saying the people are, bad or stupid. I'm saying the government over there, it's pretty bad. It really is. I love Chinese people, but yeah, the government's messed up. I'm sorry, you guys. They should allow Bitcoin, because them disallowing Bitcoin puts their country at a major, major disadvantage in the technological world, in the world's economy, right? China's almost number one in the world's economy, right? So this is a major blow to the people of China. So I'm really worried about that. Get with the times, China. Come on. Yeah, the coronavirus happened. That wasn't cool. There could have been more precautions, but that happened. It's done, right? Now let's look what China's doing. Well, they're stopping basically their poor people from getting Bitcoin too. Now, I thought in a communist country everybody, got money, that everybody was equal, but there's still billionaires in China. So it's like the poor people can stay poor, right? And they all have to have the same no money. But the rich people can get rich, rich, rich. Come on, man. I don't know. They might shut me down over there in China's YouTube. But I'm just telling the people what's up, man. Come on. That's not cool. They're just going to crack down on crypto because they want their digital money to succeed. 100%. That's why. I'm telling you right now. Robinhood stock closes rocky first week of trading, down 7.5%. They shouldn't have stole everybody's Dogecoin profits. I can't say that I feel bad for them about that. I don't use Robinhood because of that, and I still won't. I don't like it when a company uses their power to steal money from people that literally should have had the money. So, yeah, you won't ever see a video that I will talk positive about Robinhood. So, this is what I really wanted to talk about. Actually, I'll talk about this Ethereum yield farm token up 200% in a week after Coinbase listing. I looked at this the other day, and I almost bought it, and I was like, man, that's too expensive. I don't even know what this is. And then boom, it skyrocketed 201%. in the past week, and 40% like in a day. I was like, man, I saw this over there on Coinbase, and man, I don't think they list it until after it skyrockets, though. I've never seen it on there and then see it skyrocket afterwards. It's like, man, how do I find these coins before they get on Coinbase? I need to know about this coin right here a week before it's going to be listed on Coinbase. I'm going to figure that out for you guys. And then we're going to try to figure out how do we get these coins right here a week before they list on Coinbase. Right? That's when we want to buy them. We don't want to buy it after it raises 200% in a week. We want to do it a week before this, when it was still down at $100 or whatever. Yeah, I think it was like around $100. And so farm token, check it out on Coinbase if you want. Look at that funny looking scarecrow dude or whatever that is. It's like a scarecrow with a watermelon head. With a barrel full of money. Yield farming, I kind of like that, but yield farming I've heard is a scam, so I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to look into this. Harvest Finance has increased. Okay, we'll look into this later on in a video and see what yield farming is and see if it's a scam or not. That's what I want to find out. Is yield farming a scam? All right, now up to here, this news right here. What the heck? Not a drill. Infrastructure bill could sink American crypto industry. Uh-oh. I mean, I want regulation, but in a slow, methodical way, not a hammer of the law kind of way, and that's what they're going to do, of course. The government aims to partially cover the cost of a massive infrastructure bill by taxing crypto companies, and the entire industry will feel it. Why right now, though? Couldn't you wait till we were almost at our all-time high before giving us this news? Jeez. Things just got ugly for crypto in Washington, D.C. For years, the threat of major regulation has been raised like a hammer, ready to smash the crypto industry. Now the hammer is ready to drop in the unlikely form of a major infrastructure bill in the U.S. Senate. So they're getting ready to crack us, guys. They wait, and then they just crack it down at the stupidest time. This is not a drill, writes Jake Chervinsky, an influential crypto lawyer and sober voices in a hype-prone industry. In a must-read Twitter thread, Chervinsky explains how the $550 billion bill, which is primarily about roads and bridges, could shiv American crypto companies. And so, like Coinbase, I think maybe is Robinhood American. I'm not 100% sure on that one. The pain comes in the part of the bill that explains how the U.S. will help pay for those roads and bridges. So, $28 billion for the cost by squeezing crypto brokers. Uncle Sam plans to do, right? The trouble is that the bill defines broker, a term normally used to describe the likes of Coinbase and Robinhood, as basically any business that touches crypto. As Chervinsky writes, the definition is so broad it could apply to nearly every economic actor in the U.S. crypto industry, it read literally. To catch all broker term could apply to miners, DeFi startups, and others who will have to file customer forms with the IRS, a task that is in some cases impossible. Why are you trying to make things impossible for your citizens, especially when we're trying to move into the forefront of the future and we don't know what that looks like? So you got to work with us a little bit here. It's a give and take thing. I understand we need regulation, but I also understand that if you bring the hammer down too hard, you aren't going to have an industry to regulate. You're going to ruin it. You're going to break a financial revolution because you're greed. So I was just talking about this and thinking about this earlier. Why are we getting so greedy with our taxes as American citizens, as the American government? Why? You're giving out so much money, but then you tax us even more. All right? All of this stimulus stuff is great, right? Until you start adding a bunch of taxes now to pay for that. Well, we paid all this money to the people. Now we don't have money for the roads and the bridges. So now we're going to tax the people to get money for the roads and the bridges. Do you see how stupid that is? You give money to people to take more money from people. I don't get that. It doesn't make sense even in the littlest. Okay, now taxing big companies like Coinbase, yeah, sure. Robinhood, yeah, sure. They're huge. They can afford to be taxed. But you start taxing these little DeFi startups, how are they going to start? You're asking for more money than they're making in a month. Like, come on with that. You know, there's a reason that the Boston Tea Party happened, right? We didn't want to pay all those taxes on items. Now, don't start a crypto tea party now, all right? We don't need people throwing their frickin' hardware wallets in the frickin' water, right? Wouldn't that be crazy? Just to go down to the pier here in Seattle and see a bunch of people throwing their hardware wallets in the ocean because crypto regulators taxed them too much. They're like, I don't need my nano ledger anymore. You're going to tax it? I don't want it. Right? Come on. That's pretty funny. Yeah, this is just ridiculous, guys. I know regulation has to happen. Online casinos, yeah, do that. Regulate the online casinos. Tax them up. But some of these companies that are doing legit, awesome ideas that are more than just gambling, like say you have a micro wallet or survey, like something on top of gambling. Like say you have gambling as like a background thing for it. Well, don't tax those guys. But the guys that are online casinos only, tax them up. Right? So pick the ones that should be taxed. I know that's maybe something you can't do, or set like a criteria in the law, right? And only tax for certain reasons. Like, you just have to be more clear in these policies. That's the problem. They make these policies too wide open. I'm not trying to get big into politics, but that's what this is doing. They're bringing crypto into the politics, right? And so people like me have to give a voice to the people that don't have a voice. So that's what we're doing over here. And including gambling like behavior. Yeah. Realized it made strategic sense to build the web on American shores rather than driving out of the country. And that's what you will do, America. If you start regulating all of these industries, well, it's all like China. They're going to take it elsewhere. Someone else will get the benefits. And when this becomes a super thing that breaks out of everybody's control and takes hold, and there's nothing you could do about it, well, it'll be too late by that point. And these countries that have adopted Bitcoin as legal tender are going to be the ones that are now the first world countries, and America's a third world country if we're not careful. No, that will never happen. America's awesome. But I'm just saying, if we get a lot of stupid people and us as people allow this, then that's what could happen one day. We could end up being, a country like El Salvador ourselves, in its worst. So we just got to be careful with stuff like that. If we go overboard, and look what happened with all the protests during the pandemic, right? If you push the people too far, they will push back. So just keep that in mind when you're trying to bring the hammer down. Know that there's a hammer above you too. Just because you can lay the hammer down doesn't mean the hammer can't be laid down on you as well. So be careful when you lay the hammer down. That's all I'm saying. Be careful what you're doing. Think about it. Don't just get greedy. If this is all about greed, can we do without this bill? Do we need these roads fixed right this second? Is there another way to do it? Right? That isn't going to smash a growing industry. I know they don't care about that. They don't care if Bitcoin goes to zero because, until they hold it, then they'll care, right? And the more it booms, the more places that take it, the more they're going to have to hold Bitcoin because you're going to basically have to hold Bitcoin to buy certain things. If you want this, well, you can only buy it with Bitcoin now. And that's the way Bitcoin will take off. If you don't offer any other payment type except Bitcoin, then they have to buy Bitcoin in order to pay for it. But then your business might not do so well. And businesses don't really like to just say, okay, you only have one form of payment, because then you'll be at a disadvantage to your competitor that offers 10 different payment types, right? So there's a give and take with everything, and you got to be strategic to know what is going to work and what you need to do and if it's going to be successful or not before you do it. Now, if you just push it out there, I mean, you could do that too, but never build a building without a blueprint, right? Never build a house without a foundation, or it will crumble. So, and even in the Bible, it says generals don't go to war without a war strategy. A carpenter doesn't build a house without a blueprint. So these are the things, there's a reason that they're said, they've been said for thousands of years. There's a reason for that. And they're still said today because they're relevant, and they always will be. You build a house on sand, it will get destroyed every single time. And for the next 500 years, that'll be the same. Next 1,000 years, that will be the same. Unless there's bedrock underneath, right? So don't build a house on sand. You have to have a foundation. All right, guys, let's go in here and take a look at the price of Bitcoin. What the heck? What the heck is going on with Bitcoin right now? Well, as you see, we're basically where we were yesterday. And that's why I almost didn't even know what to do a video about today. I woke up and, it took me a couple hours. Well, I mean, I had a little bit of, stuff I had to take care of too, but there wasn't a whole lot of news, and I was waiting to see if Bitcoin was going to break out, because I absolutely do not like to give you guys false information. Like the Amazon video that I did, I will make a couple like jokey videos, like, oh, I'm going in Amazon to find out about the crypto, like joking like that. And I really didn't do it. But that's just my sense of humor right there. That's not like me trying to lie to you. That isn't lying to you guys. That was just like a joke. It was kind of funny. I thought it was funny at the time. I really did. I was cracking up myself. I was like, man, I'm from Amazon, dude. I'm like, what could I? And it just popped in my head. I'm like, oh, man, I'm going to go see if they have crypto in there, because I wanted to really do that. But I kind of chickened out. That's the real thing. I was going to go in there, and I really was. I mean, at first, I wanted to go in and ask about it. I was going to park, because my bank's right over by there. And so I was going to park and go right in. Actually, my bank's like right next to it, basically. And so I was going to park by my bank and go into Amazon and be like, yeah, I'm here for the crypto job. Or so I don't know what I was going to do. I was going to at least try to, find out some information, talk to somebody. Like, who do I talk to about crypto in Amazon? Like, is there a person? Maybe they're already hired. Can I speak with them? Like, I just had all these ideas, and I chickened out. Maybe next time I'll actually go in Amazon for you. Do you guys want me to do that? If you do, leave a thumbs up or a comment below and say, yeah, next time go into Amazon. I mean, I go by there all the time. Why not? Right? I'll at least go in there. I don't know if I'll ask about crypto, but we can, show you what the inside of Amazon looks like, as long as I don't get kicked out. That might happen. But it still be fun. Even if I get kicked out, it's not like I'll get in trouble, I don't think so. Like, I'm not trespassed or anything. So, and I don't want to get trespassed, because I might want to work at Amazon one day. You never know. Okay, dang it, look at this. We have another ascending triangle. What is going on with this? Okay, it is a little bit angled. It is a little bit angled. But let's zoom out a little bit. Hold on, this is the 4 hour. Let's go look at the 1 hour chart. And this will really tell us what's going on. Yeah, we definitely have an ascending triangle, and it looks like it's about to break out. So I'm not calling it. I'm not, especially at this level right here. I'm going to call it when it breaks out this time. I called it last time, and yeah, we did go up. Look, we went up right when I called it. So we did end up going back down a little bit, though. That's what I didn't realize was going to happen. And also, it broke down before it went up, too, right? Where did we, oh, here, right here. We broke down right here before we went back up. I called this, but I didn't call the breakdown. I called the pump up, but I did call that. Remember, with my ascending triangle right here, you can still see it. It's sitting right here. It broke to the downside and then it broke to the upside afterwards. So that was kind of weird. But we have another one right here, and it almost broke to the downside right here, as you can see. It almost broke to the downside. And now we're almost breaking to the upside. So I'm not going to call this because I don't know yet. I really don't. I hope it does break to the upside, and that's what we're going to keep an eye out. If we see it break above the 41,000 or 42,118, if we break above that point and we can close our daily candle in about 2 hours and 8 minutes above that, then we are going to go up to the $44,000 level, guys. So let's keep an eye on that. Look at this RSI. We're not oversold. We still have some volume coming in right here. We don't have enough volume to confirm this breakout yet, though. Look at the volume over here that confirmed the breakout. Okay, this was a little bit troublesome over here, and we had some major outflow right here, or selling, not outflow, sorry, selling. And then we had accumulation. Look at that, a little bit of selling, and then more accumulation. This is how you could tell that they were accumulating right here after the dip. Look at all of this volume. Look at all of that, and then bam! So this is what you kind of look for before. Okay, you see this big candle. What happened before that? That's what I look for. Why did it break out this huge thing right now? Well, let's go before it. Look at all the green candles and very few red candles. Okay, now before, look at all the red candles, and then boom, a big red one. So I've noticed that that's a trend. Before we get a big green one, there's a bunch of little green ones. All right. Before we get a big red one, look, there's a bunch of little red ones before it. So it kind of shows us that's might not always be true. And don't look at that for a pattern because it's just something that I'm noticing myself right now. And I'm going to look into the future. I'm not with a crystal ball. I'm gonna look into the future. No, but I'm gonna look at this going into the future and seeing if I can see more patterns like this. Okay, when we get a big green candle, is there a bunch of little green candle accumulation patterns before that? And I'm gonna look at these things and I'm gonna study it a little bit on my own and let my brain do its duty because it does. I mean, my brain sees stuff that my normal eye can't see. So yeah, look, before this big green candle here, look at all the little green candles, right? So that is something, right? Now this one, that goes against it though. Look at the big red candles. Well, there's only green ones leading up to it. But if you go back here, look at the big green one over here though, and look at all the green accumulation afterwards. Now, if we didn't have some red ones, it would be worrisome. Having that many green ones going along. So yeah, that kind of still matches with the pattern. If you look at the whole situation, yeah, there was a lot of green ones, but look, we had a big green one over here. And then look, the little green ones before that. And then we had more green after. So we would have to see a red one come, right? So I think, if you look at the overall situation, you can kind of tell that, yeah, we needed a cool off period right here. Look at all the green accumulation. So you can kind of tell with the volume what Bitcoin is going to do. I would never just read one of these signals and say, yes, 100% it's going to do this because look at this. No, you use this signal with the chart signal, with the news, with the momentum of Bitcoin, and all of these things put together give you a general idea of where Bitcoin's going to go. Man, this is good information. I really like this, okay? When I can give you guys this kind of good information, it makes my day. Now this video was worth me doing. And we might be breaking out right now, guys. It might be a little fake out because now we came down a little bit, but this is what we have to look out, right? Is it going to break above this level? Well, if you look back here, look at all this green accumulation, but look at the red sell-offs, though. So all that accumulation happened, but look at these little sell-offs. So we're not really getting overextended on the green part right here. So look at the volume. Yeah, we had a lot of volume right here, but look at the red here. Look at the reds here, red here. Look at that nice, bigger than the other green ones around it. and then boom, red here, red, 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 red. Yeah, we have 2 green candles right here, but yeah, I can see where we can keep going. We don't have a big need for a big red right now. There's not a big need for a big red candle. So, and we're not oversold in the RSI. That's another thing to look at. We're at 63. We could get oversold pretty quickly. But that's because we have this resistance at the $44,000 level. But we do have this resistance right here at 42,000 that has stayed there. You know, we have turned it into support. The 100-day moving average is now support. Let's look on the daily actually to make sure of this. 41,500. Yes. So we have now turned that into support. Well, or still have turned that into support. And that's why I think we're going to go higher. But there still is this resistance area that we have not been able to get above. Now, the next real big resistance area after this is going to be at 44,000. But there is this invisible resistance that we're facing right now on the 1 hour. And it's just this level right here, right? That we haven't been able to get above yet. And it's sitting right at about 42,000. We haven't been able to close above this. We wicked right about this area right here. Like 42,400 right there. Let's look before. 42,300. Yeah, 42,400. So we basically are going to the right to the top of this line again. And we have already broke the 100-day moving average. And so we've turned it to support. Now we just have to get some volume in. That's all that has to happen now is volume. And once we see this volume confirm, the RSI is not oversold. On the 1 hour, we're looking good. On the daily, we're still above the 100-day moving average. Everything is looking good to me. All the signs point to, let's go. Let's continue. Continuation, baby. Yeah. So, but I'm not calling it yet. Not gonna call it yet. I don't feel confident enough to call it. It looks like it's going to, but let's wait. Let's confirm. Let's get a confirmation. So, all right, guys. That's what we're going to look for, and I'll probably be back tonight to at least let you know what's going on with the Bitcoin price. I know I have said 50,000 in some of my videos. Okay, right here. This is what my Bitcoin prediction is going to be. We're going to see 60,000 again. That's what's going to happen. We're going to 60,000 again. By November or December, we are going to see $112,000 Bitcoin. But in the immediate short term, within the next month or so, I see that we are going to 60,000. All right, guys. That being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin. Bang!